Good evening. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. Welcome to BMC News Live in English. I am Vinod Narayan, joining you with the daily news updates. News in detail. Solidarity and peace to overcome challenges and crises. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa stressed the importance of international cooperation based on communication, solidarity and peace to overcome challenges and crises. He urged collective response and an active and advanced international partnership that suits the present and looks forward to the future as the sole path for countries to achieve common goals and ensure a safe, prosperous and sustainable life for all humanity. His Majesty the King delivered the keynote speech as he addressed today the opening session of the Paris Peace Forum, which was attended by French President Emmanuel Macron and other heads of states and governments. Proposal to scrutinize unemployment fund. Bahrain's unemployment fund could be scrutinized by Parliament and Shura Council under new proposed financial governance measures. The proposed amendment to the 2006 issuance against unemployment law has been presented by 5 Shura Council members, led by Human Rights Committee Vice Chairman Darwish Al-Manai, who believe that the fund's administrative and financial affairs are public matter. Online platform to help job seekers. An online platform that will use artificial intelligence to identify career trends and opportunities will soon be launched in the country. It will also highlight specializations that offer limited job prospects in an effort to guide youngsters and families to make smart decisions. Municipal fees for 192 Bahraini families reduced. Works Minister yesterday issued a ministerial order to reduce the municipal fees for 192 families who do not own business and live in rented apartments during October 2021. The order is in line with the decision of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa for providing a decent life to all citizens and reducing the burden of expenses, said Azam Khalaf. Explaining, the minister said the decision to reduce fees would benefit 189 Bahraini families, while fees waiver would benefit 3 families. The ministry is coordinating with Municipal Affairs and Electricity and Water Authority to execute the decisions. Europe's Alistair announced its GCC's first aluminium grain refiners plant in Bahrain. Alistair, a leading European metal producer, announced launching GCC's first state-of-the-art aluminium grain refiners and master alloys production hub as its new Middle East based in Bahrain. The hub will be Spanish firm's first overseas facility and will produce high-quality aluminium alloys for different purposes across various industries. The new $15 million facilities will supply specialty alloys to global markets including Asia, North America, and the GCC. Bahrain, UAE, Israel and US forces in joint naval drill. Forces from the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Israel and the United States Naval Forces Central Command began a multilateral maritime security operations exercise in the Red Sea on Wednesday. This is the first publicly acknowledged naval exercise between the United States, Israel and the 2 Gulf countries. Education Minister Dr. Majid bin Ali Al Nuaimi affirmed Bahrain's full support to UNESCO. Education Minister Dr. Majid bin Ali Al Nuaimi affirmed Bahrain's full support to the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization to achieve its humanitarian goals and noble values. The minister said this as he spoke at the 41st session of the General Conference of the UNESCO at the UNESCO headquarters. He affirmed Kingdom's support to strengthen the pillars of peace, promote sustainable development, and overcome the effects of the outbreak, especially on education. He indicated that the Kingdom had taken all measures to ensure that education continues a priority. Creating seats funded by state-owned companies for Bahrainis wishing to complete their post-graduation in the universities in the Kingdom was one of the proposals discussed by the Youth Parliament. The session also discussed several other proposals aimed at harnessing the capabilities of Bahraini youngsters in the national building process. The session, chaired by Speaker Fawzia bint Abdullah Zainal, had the presence of His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Works and Youth Affairs, ministers and top officials. Bahrain National Library resumes services. The National Library at the Isa Culture Center has reopened its doors after a long hiatus over closures to contain the COVID-19 outbreak. The center said they are now welcoming visitors, readers and researchers without advance appointments except on Fridays. The director of the Bahrain National Library at the Isa Cultural Center, Dr. Mansour Sarhan, said the library would resume its services starting this week. Doors are open to visitors from Sunday to Thursday from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. On Saturdays, doors are open from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. However, the children's library will remain closed until further notice. Dr. Sarhan urged all to adhere strictly to the preventive and health measures to ensure the health and safety of all. Now we will be back after a very short break.
All your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain at 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. To have a wonderful shopping experience, please visit your nearest Megamart Macromart branch. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
With our stunning collection of fine jewelry, gemstones, pearls and diamonds, fine pieces in timeless designs and unspoken elegance. Al Siraj Jewelry, our story, our pride.
NEC Rabbit.
Welcome back. The prestigious Jewelry Arabia 2021 back with new glitz. More than 500 jewelry brands and watchmakers from across 31 countries are set to gather in Bahrain next week at the prestigious Jewelry Arabia 2021 with new glitz and glamour joining the party. The return of the extravaganza is clear evidence that the world is slowly recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic and shines a bright light towards the kingdom's economic recovery. His Majesty congratulated Bahrain's Jiu-Jitsu champion. The Majesty King Hamad bin Mirza Al Khalifa held a phone call with National Jiu-Jitsu team athlete Ali Munfrididi, who bagged the gold medal in the World Championship organized by the National Jiu-Jitsu Federation (GJIF) in Abu Dhabi, the UAE. His Majesty the King congratulated champion Muna Faridi on his honorable world accomplishment, which adds to Bahrain's record of achievements in the sport and other games. His Majesty the King praised Faridi for the effort he had exerted in the championship, outclassing all contenders taking part in the world contest to win the gold medal and honor his country in this international sports arena. Bahrain's trios advanced to second round. Bahrain's women's and men's trios both advanced to the second round of their respective categories in the IBF Super World Championship 2021 being held in Dubai. Nadia Akil, Noura Sultan and Laila Al-Janahi teamed up to finish the qualification round as the sixth best team in the women's trio event yesterday, while Yusuf Falah, Ahmed Al-Khaja and Ahmed Al-Gaud made it through ranked 12th in the men's trios qualifiers. The top 16 triers from each division marched throughout to the next phase. Bahrain reports 27 new COVID-19 cases and 45 recoveries out of 15,810 COVID-19 tests carried out on the 11th November. 27 new cases have been detected among 11 expatriate workers. 16 new cases are contacts of active cases. There were 45 recoveries from COVID-19. There are currently 3 COVID-19 cases in a critical condition and 5 cases receiving treatment. 284 are stable out of a total of 287 active cases. Bahrain expresses solidarity with India and Sri Lanka. Bahrain extended condolences to the governments and peoples of India and Sri Lanka over the victims of the torrential rains, which killed dozens of people and injured others. In a statement, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs expressed the sympathy of Bahrain with the two friendly countries, affirming its full solidarity and support for all efforts made to limit further losses in lives and property. Heavy rains on Sri Lanka's coast and the South Indian state of Tamil Nadu have killed at least 41 people, destroyed thousands of homes and stalled traffic, according to the report. Approval of citizenship for expats in Saudi. In a landmark move, Saudi King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud on Thursday gave approval for granting citizenship of the kingdom to a number of distinguished people with rare expertise and specializations. The approval comes in light of the royal order to open the door to neutralize legal, medical, scientific, cultural, sports and technical specialities in a way that contributes to promoting the wheel of development and benefits the country in various fields. Abu Dhabi's new secular family law steps up Gulf talent competition. Legal reforms in Abu Dhabi designed to enhance the Emirates' appeal to foreigners will allow for non-Muslim judges both certificates for children of unmarried parents, equality of men and women as witnesses, and new alimony and inheritance laws. The new secular law, a copy of which has seen by Reuters, intends to make the political capital of the United Arab Emirates more attractive for outsiders to live and work. It has been welcomed as a step forward for gender equality. It gives a lot of rights to women which did not exist before, said Hassan Al-Hayes, a legal consultant from UAE-based Al Rawad Advocates. COVID cases rising in Western Europe. Nearly 2 years into a global health crisis that has killed more than 5 million people, infections are again sweeping across parts of Western Europe, a region with relatively high vaccination rates and good healthcare systems, but where lockdown measures are largely a thing of the past. The World Health Organization said coronavirus deaths rose by 10% in Europe in the past week, and an emergency official declared last week that the continent was back at the epicenter of the pandemic. Much of that has been driven by spiraling outbreaks in Russia and Eastern Europe, where vaccination rates tend to be low. But countries in the West, such as Germany and Britain, recorded some of the highest new case totals in the world. With that, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. every day. I am Vinod Narayan, signing off from BMC News Live. Good night.